Hey guys, my name is Punch
Oh,
in the Pooper, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. This is actually the second half of the last video, so we'll just get straight into it. I hope you guys love it. Thanks. The entry was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Oh, hello, sir. I like your suspenders. His suspenders are interesting. Like, are those the red clips for his belt? Are they individual? Like, I have suspenders and I just have. Sorry. I kind of like his red suspenders and his red tie. Anyway, waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Maribara-san? Punchy Maribara? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamazawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. Don't make it sound so weird, Punchy. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on my car. Let's talk there. No? That's like older person's I have candy in my white truck. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? Oh, Punchy. Oops, sorry guys. Phone's on. The man had completely ignored my question, pointed over to his car, parked near the gate, and began walking. You've got to be kidding. I have no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he's asking me to get in his car with him? Good man, Punchy. I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. I would not get into that car. Even knowing that conversation that started out like this have never led to anything good. Nope. Not at all. The inside of his car is pretty cool. Looks pretty normal. Cars with air conditioners are supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me, sir? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark the same way he did to me and started my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took a picture that was stuck between the pages. Uh-oh. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, please tell me. Who the heck is this? Not even his close friends were able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it's taken from the DMV. The scribbles on his shirt. No! Oh no! No! Tomitake! Oh, please say it ain't so. It must be then. Like he must be a police guy. Like who else would be asking if it wasn't like a mob guy? But mob guys have lackeys. This has to be. Oh god. There are scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, Maribara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tomitake-san? There was no hint of his usual, unreliable, easygoing personality in this photo. It was expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name. No, none of us remember her name. But she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamazawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi, we spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no certain, that this guy was a cop. Same thinking, Punchy, same thinking. Then why? Why was he asking me about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of his air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Maribara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories? No, of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed in my face. Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. These incidents, the incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think that there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, well, curse, Maribara-san? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe it as I was on the verge of believing it. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? And that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. No! He was our outsider friend, the last one we had. Oh god, my mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san? Oh, goosebumps all over my body. It seemed that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maribara-san? Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi, meaning, this year, the curse of the Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying what it caused me to doubt whether or not I want to hear the rest. I only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. Oh, we gotta hear it. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is the same scene as... Oh no! One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road in town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope on the shoulder around there? There are a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but then when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. Oh, Tomitake-san! From a knife or something? No. Oh my, wait. Oh my god. That's like fingernails, right? That's what he means? Nails? Punchy, you're so on par. As in fingernails? With those he clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was his own nails. Huh? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. That's not suicide. Tomitake-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat, as hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splay. Oh jeez! Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this, it was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died. In these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. Oh. There are a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It was hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out his throat. The wounds on his hand matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while he was tearing down his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake-san. There's a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injury suggests there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried to fight back. Somewhere there, he began to madly tearing at his own throat. That last part, the suspect, when he was out, now everything's suspect because of this, clawing at it. Then he died. Oh, it's kind of long, but I'm keeping all 40 minutes of this in one day piece. I can't split this up. The presumed time death was around 9:23 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that, oh yeah, he should have been with the woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I'd spent with Tomitake-san was short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was a club member! He was one of us! We would have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me, "Oh, he was like my outside brother." Oh, so that's why he came to me, because I'm not originally from Hinamazawa. I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened for me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake-san died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi. During that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. Agreed. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut by the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Miyabara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamazawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year, which would mean that Hinamazawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamazawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But I might start calling Oyashiro-sama Osama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he's talking in future tense. Things or people or rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted or not, I'd be mired knee deep in this matter. Please help me solve the questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? If I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. We're definitely gonna help this guy out, because we're not standing for this. Tomitake-san. He was supposed to teach me how to lift. I don't even lift, bro. Everything we spoke of today is secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki-san and Furuta-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mian? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friend's name being brought up so abruptly and being told keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mian is a close friend of mine. I stepped at him, but he didn't seem to be especially offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Higurashi are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right! Give me a break! First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how'd you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Yeah, Punchy, come on, let's be real. Only the residents of Higurashi felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was someone related to Higurashi? First, it was the dam construction foreman. Then, it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end, the results are the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion, but it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive. So there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? It was the beginning. In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project. But as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemy of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is a reason enough. Then, next year's victim. They're just gonna be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person that just moved here. Ugh! Goosebumps everywhere! God! What do you mean by? I swallowed my words. Here in Higurashi, the ones who were considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? Oh God! And my mom and dad didn't go to the festival. I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims. My family. Well, he's saying it's going to be me? What does that have to do with Mian? I can't go into details, but the Nozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mian Nozaki herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mian knew what it meant to fight. This is the first I've heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mian's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. And think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe that it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes, and none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse just to worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. Reading too much. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Oishi from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kura-chan if you want, sure. No, okay. No, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was pleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the splitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watched. I've taken him too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. Okay. Tomodachi-san. Oh, no. Oh. I mean, I guess we had that kind of gut feeling, didn't we? Although, actually, when we first saw him, I thought that he might have been like a crazy kind of killer guy. In the end, I was completely wrong. It was the opposite. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to cut it here. This is gonna be going on 15 minutes actually. So I'm actually gonna end up cutting half of this. Hopefully I can do it kind of seamlessly for you guys. But I'm probably gonna upload both today anyway. Okay, guys. Oh man, everything happening. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? Most of you watching this already know what's happening, so you guys must just be enjoying how I'm sad. I'm very sad. But I hope you guys are having fun watching this. Probably gonna start recording some other things too once I get my controller working with my computer. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye. Ow.